Hi everyone, welcome to another session, another important topic. We are going to discuss software development life cycle, SDLC. So, software development life cycle, which is a structured process for developing software system efficiently and securely. It consists of five main phases, as you can see in this diagram, right? So the first phase is requirement analysis, right? Highlighted in red color. This one. Uh, Objective of this phase is to understand the business needs and define functional and non-functional requirement, right? So we gather the requirements, we understand the business needs, we define functional and non-functional requirements. So gathering requirements from stakeholders, right? Those who are the stakeholders, we need to gather the requirements from stakeholders. Document business and technical specifications, right? Identify security and compliance requirement, right? So we need to gather the requirements, and also we need to identify security and compliance requirements. That is essential steps while gathering the requirements. Let me give you one example. For instance, a bank wants a mobile app. This phase uh, defines what feature the app must have, right? So bank wants to uh, wants to have a new app, so uh, we need to check which features needs to be needs to have this particular app, right? So the next would be design phase. Design phase, we plan system architecture, data structure, and user interface, right? So we create software architecture, for example, data models, API structure, uh, design for the front end, identify technologies and framework, for instance, Java, Python, whatever programming language we need uh, to write a code. So architects, for example, architect design a bank app, database, how user login securely, right? So here we identify the technologies which technologies are required to fulfill the requirements, right? Then the third phase is implementation. Implementation is now developers write a code. Software developer, they write a code based on design specification. So in first phase we gather the requirement, and now design phase we have decided which programming language, which software language will be which language will be used for for the code. So now in third phase, developer will write a code based on the design specification, whatever we have decided in the design phase. So developer will develop front end, back end functionality, integrate database, APIs, and security mechanism, and conduct unit testing, right? So developer write Python or Java code for authentication and transaction processing. Now the fourth phase would be testing. Testing is identify and fix bugs before deployment. So here we need to do a thorough testing where we need to identify the bugs, right? Identify the bugs, which is very important. Before we put our software in production, we need to do a thorough testing, right? Before we go into production, before deployment, perform unit testing. There could be multiple type of testing. We will also discuss all those testing in our upcoming video sessions. Um, we They can perform unit testing, integration testing, and user acceptance testing, conduct security testing to check vulnerabilities, fix reported bugs. All those things can be, once those things will be identified, vulnerabilities, those bugs needs to be fixed. Q engineer test the banking app to ensure no unauthorized transaction occur. Right. Now the fifth step would be evaluation, maintenance, and updates. Right. Here, objective is to improve the software post deployment based on user. Right. uh, Based on users feedback, right? So once you put that software in production, once you deploy it, then you start getting feedback from the customer, from the users, and based on that feedback uh, you plan a new feature for that particular software. You monitor system performance, and then based on that feedback you release software patches for security vulnerability and new feature based on user demand, right? So all that happens on users feedback, right? So then banking app releases a security update to prevent phishing attacks, right? uh, how SDLC fits with other frameworks. CMMI, capability maturity model integration, helps in making SDLC processes more efficient and predictable. So CMM is provides supporting role, right? It helps making SDLC process more efficient and predictable. Risk maturity model ensures that security risks are considered throughout the SDLC, right? NIST 837 RMF ensures risk assessment and compliance in software development. So yeah, so this is small difference. These are the small differences between SDLC and some other models. Now, another important point, another important thing which I would like to highlight in this session: secure software development lifecycle. So SSDLC, secure software development lifecycle, right? It enhancement is an enhancement of traditional SDLS. So here in this model we will talk about security requirements in particular, right? So SSDLC is an enhancement of traditional SDLC, integrating security practice at every phase, every single phase. We need to make sure that security practices are integrated, minimize vulnerability, and enhance protection against cyber threats, right? So security is not afterthought process. We need to integrate in every single step. Below is a mapped. So, for instance, requirement uh, analysis, security requirements. We need to focus on security, identify security needs and compliance requirements. We need to define security policies, access control, authentication, consider regulatory compliance, for example, GDPR, HIPAA, NIST 853. Define threat modeling, for example, STRIDE framework to identify risk. Example, if developing a banking app, specify multi-factor authentication and data encryption as a security requirement. For instance, in design phase, we need to focus on security, build a secure architecture to reduce vulnerability. So I do not want to go one by one what needs to be added in terms of security in every single phase, but security is something which needs to be added right in the beginning, right from first day. So SSDLC ensures software security from design deployment, reducing risk like data breaches, unauthorized access, and application exploits. So this is how we integrate security right from the beginning, and that is very important as a cybersecurity uh, as a cybersecurity person. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any feedback, question, please share in the feedback section.